Many of you have been asking what has happened to Oliver. And the answer is he's been given a light restoration here at the Smallest Cog. We're going to get one of the guys in to take you through everything that's happened to this car. But before then, I've just driven it down from Richard's place to here. So let me tell you what it's like to drive this little car. A good thing is it has really soft suspension. It's really comfortable cruising around, and I imagine that made it so good in Botswana. A bad thing is the suspension is really, really soft, which means in the corners, it feels like you're about to roll over at 20 miles an hour, although you're not going much faster than that because it seemingly only has about 40 horsepower. It's not quick. Another good thing, it physically has brakes, drums on all four corners. A bad thing, they do not seem to work, especially downhill. I genuinely think the weight of the vehicle almost overcomes the amount of braking force you can create. It doesn't feel the safest. But let's face it, who gives a crap? It's Oliver, the most recognisable car from anything the trio has ever done. Neil, take it away. What has happened to Oliver since we last saw him?
Right, well, Oliver, as you can see now, is the original colour it was when it was on a certain TV programme in Botswana. A few years ago, Richard had an offer to take this car to a classic car magazine, and they did sort of a weekend mini retro and painted it. But when they were looking around the car, I don't know what they did, a colour chips or whatever, but they painted the car the wrong colour. It looked okay, the job was good, it looked sound, but it was just totally the wrong colour.
Was it like more yellow or more creamy?
It was really like a creamy yellow, it wasn't the original colour.
Okay.
But what we did, we stripped the car out, found a piece of the car which was original from the factory, scanned it, mixed that colour up, and then give it a bottom half respray, and then we changed the wheels and put it back on steel wheels, because it was on mini light alloy wheels, which weren't original. And originally it would have been on steel, so we put back on steel wheels, but we made them slightly wider to give it that little low stance.
Yes.
That makes it look a little bit more sporty, but it is on steel wheels.
I do remember one of his hubcaps came off while he was in Africa at one point. But yeah, so you've matched the colour of the wheels to the roof.
Yeah,
okay,
we haven't painted the roof. The roof's the original colour. But that we did check that, and that's the colour it was.
Okay.
But this colour was definitely wrong. So we put colour is everything. Colour is everything with a car, because that's what you remember. And if you see it and it's not that colour, you don't think it's that car.
Okay.
So we've put it back original now to how it should be.
Okay, so it's not been a full restoration, it's just been a colour change back to normal, and there's actually some stuff that we could sort of snag up, really.
Not a full
interior bits.
Yeah, not a full restoration, but a lot of work, because we've had to paint in the engine bay, we've had to paint in the boot lid, we had to paint inside the car.
And do you reckon Richard will want to get Oliver immaculate, or do you think there's something about this car that should be a bit rugged and, you know, not perfect, essentially?
I think it doesn't want to be perfect, because he uses it, you know, it gets used, I wouldn't say knocked about, it'd be the wrong word, but I don't think it wants to be pristine like a Trailer Queen Concourse car. It's not that sort of a car. But being that it's the right colour now, it looks nice. Anything it could do with getting sorted out one of these days are these trims.
Yes.
But apparently...
So it's got one on that side, but it's missing here. Yeah,
it's got a trim missing there, which is so annoying. You could give it some upgrades and make it into a really nice car, but how far would you go with it?
Well,
it's quite nice as it is. It's usable. It's not...
Richard has spoken about making Oliver a rally car, potentially. I know that has come... Or even a drag racer at one point he did talk about. But I don't know whether that's a kind of step too far.
Yeah, I think it would be. But, well, we did have that conversation because... It's Opel Vauxhall, same car really, isn't it? You know, but you've got to think what you could have had back in the day. And you had, I think it was the Vauxhall Chevette HSRs, which is like the little rally version of a Chevette.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure that most of that you could fit into this. You could have made it into a proper little snorting rally car. But the problem is with it, the heritage of it. Would you want to risk it? Would you? What I said to him was, why don't you buy another Oliver? Because there's quite a few, well, there were a few on the internet, but they're usually all left-hand drive. But he could have made a little rally car like Oliver and used it But I don't think you could do it. You know, it'd be sacrilege because that's how everybody remembers Oliver. That's how you see Oliver.
Yes, but at the same time, it's Richard's car. He made it as famous as it is. So if he wants to do something, then it's up to him, really, isn't it?
It's not his car anymore. It's a national treasure.
Oh, for God's sake!
Do you know what I mean? There's people who's watching.
The National Trust would come storming in. And how
the
dare
National
you?
Trust sticker there.
Yes.
Would be nice if you had a little 8-valve Vauxhall or a 16-valve little Vauxhall 1400 motor or something in there. You know, you could retro it a bit, can you?
Yeah, I like that. So it's like a tasteful modification rather than something a bit crazy.
Yeah.
I like that. I think we should sort of take the plunge and do it as a little project because it's been talked about for years, and I feel like because now you've done the paint, we may as well start to just snag these other bits.
A little 1400 8-valve Vauxhall engine would be nice for that. You could. I think you could make it. It's a bit like, you know, like Mark II Escorts, and you get they put the Z-Tech engines in them and make it more drivable. Then put something in there, a little, I don't know, 16-valve 1400 or so, 1600 or something, just nicely done, and change the gearbox and the drive tray, but keep all the original stuff just in case you want to change it back.
I know a popular engine for this sort of thing. It might be a bit modern, but a little MX-5 4-cylinder with that gearbox and stuff. I know that it would definitely fit in there. Yeah. That'd be a reliable, 100 horsepower. It would really transform the car.
Yeah, and make 5-speed. Yeah, you could do. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, audience, comment down below. Should we MX-5 swap Oliver, or go for something a bit more retro, the 1.4 that Neil is talking about? Should we just take the plunge and give him a bit more pep? Imagine this little thing with around 100 horsepower. It would be a bit of a weapon. Neil, thank you for taking us around the car. I hope you enjoyed working on it.
Yeah. I know it's been entertaining. It would be nice because she does look like a sleeper, doesn't she? You could put a nice
hide some brakes behind the hubcaps and everything.
And you would pull up on the lights and think it's, and then poof, gone.
Okay. Well, comment below. We'll see what we can do. I'm going to try and film an outro for this video, but Ellie's just fired up. Hope she's okay. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed seeing Oliver again. And if you guys would like to see the restoration of this car happening, we've put a link in the description below where you can head over to Discovery Plus and watch Richard Hammond's workshop. It's in its Series 2. It's a cracking TV show, and you'll get to see more of this car. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I've been Mike, and don't forget to subscribe to DRIVETRIBE. Hit it, Ellie.